If you've been on my channel for a while, then you'll notice the different versions of Bibble I have on there. We have Bibble, the Captain, Mari, Bezel, and even a gender-bent version of her named Bart. And that's because on my channel, I wanted it to feel like a multiverse, where each version of her is living in an alternative timeline. Why? Because I think it's just so cool, and for the channel, each game could also be its own alternative universe. Mari for the FNAF universe, Belladonna for the Cult of the Lamb universe, and Bezel for the Amazing Digital Circus universe. Did you know too that the Amazing Digital Circus was the first real reaction I did on there? I can't believe it's finished, and I don't think a lot of others do either. Now, since we have the internet, fanfiction and alternate takes on media we love can be found in abundance, and they're known as AUs, or alternative universes. It's when some very, very talented people think up what the characters they love would be doing or what they'd be like if things were different, and they categorize it under a different timeline in an alternate universe. Some great examples would be Undertale's many AUs, like Underfell or Underswap, Resident Evil's Zombie Leon AU. Some games and shows even do it to themselves, including alternative universes in their own stories, like Sallyface, Franbo, The Spider-Verse, Undertale, In Space with Markiplier, Bioshock Infinite, and I could go on. But wait, go back to the Amazing Digital Circus, because even before it was over, it had a ton of alternate universes. And today, I thought we could go through some of them that I really, really like. Starting with the Amazing Digital Fight Club was created by Boratello on Tumblr. It's an alternate universe where instead of the circus, it's an arena, and instead of adventures, they have fights. It's now a fighting game, and in the game, you battle your way up the ranks. Kane now manages Pomni as a fighter as she scraps her way to what she hopes is freedom. Jax, or Jackrabbit, being the champion, and managed by Abel, who has this cool playing card design, being Pomni's #1 rival. Kinga, Gangle, Ragatha, and Zubul all get some sick redesigns, along with most of the side characters, including Babble and Gummigoo. Currently, it's got a Kickstarter going, so they can make an animated short. I highly recommend checking it out. I think this is a really cool concept for an AU, and it plays more into the actual program being a game instead of the circus King created. It has a fantastic art direction and really strong character designs, keeping the identifying features but revitalizing them with street fighting fashion and Boratello's own art style. Next is I've already done another video where I reacted to this AU because I absolutely adore Alice in Wonderland. I love Wonderland, and I loved the version created by Endo Ment Endo on Tumblr. It starts off not with a white rabbit and a fall down a rabbit hole, but a quick white clown and a tumble through a black computer screen, which, now that I think about it, is actually a term used for getting into a subject so deep that you dig into the internet researching it. It's called falling down a rabbit hole. I don't know if that was intended, but that's cool. That's a cool little tidbit, nonetheless. Pomni takes the role of Alice, Jax is the Cheshire Cat, Kane the Mad Hatter, or Mad Chatter, which I love because it makes reference to his teeth, Zubul as the Caterpillar, Gangle as the Mock Turtle, and Griffin, Ragatha as Marianne, and Kinga as the King of Hearts, making Queenie the titular Queen of Hearts. The designs are fantastic and almost Disney-like, as they really do remind me of the 1951 animated film. My favorite designs being Pomni, Kane, and Zubul, respectively. It has some of its comic panels dubbed on YouTube and an animated trailer. I look forward to seeing more from this one for sure. Now this one is a horror AU created by Hootbon on Tumblr. After Ragatha's arrival, a virus finds its way into the circus's programming and infects Kane, twisting him up into a cruel version of himself and transforming the circus into a freak show, with blood and violence galore, since the content filters have failed, except for the profanity filter. You still can't swear. Instead of adventures, they have more acts or performances, and they all put on specific shows, like Kinga, who is now the magician with Ragatha as his assistant. Cosmo and Jax are now a clown duo. Zubul is the strongman, and Pomni, who is actually a ventriloquist dummy now, that Kane performs with, which is as disturbing as it sounds. And Gangle is actually the most frightening character, as she had an AI welded to her by Kane, who's an obsessive gaslighting who can puppet dead bodies around instead of abstracting, which she does for Cosmo. This is a much gorier take on the circus, but it also acts even more like a video game. It has its own death scenes for game overs when a character is killed, brought back by Kane, which I really like, especially this one of Pomni. And a quick unplanned detour is one by SM Baby, and the artists are actually friends. You see, I actually found this digital carnival on YouTube after finding Hookwood. In SM Baby's AU, Kane is actually a human, and he is the programmer of a huge VR multiplayer video game, The Amazing Digital Carnival. And the AIs, now Pomni, Ragatha, Zubul, Gangle, Jax, and Kinga, are growing sentient, and Jack lashes out, killing a player's avatar while poor Pomni's code is incomplete. SM Baby's Digital Carnival can be read on their Ko-fi for a monthly subscription, and Hootboons can be found on Tumblr. Okay. From one dark take to another, the amazing digital dollhouse is created by Digital Joey on TikTok. This one, I think, is one of my favorite art styles and color palettes. It's an AU where all the characters are much more toy-like, and Kane understands a lot less about humans, love, death, and pain. Not seeming to understand like an AI, like he's not as sentient as the original counterpart, which I find very interesting. But then we have Jax. And this version of Jax is honestly just a psychopath. He's incredibly abusive to an extreme degree, and Gangle has been brainwashed by him. Her and Zubul haven't formed the bond that we've seen before from these characters. Jax is so terrifying, in fact, that the most recent released pages, while playing softball, like in episode 5, he's transformed into a dress, akin to the original. But when evil Pomni laughs, he bludgeons her to death, scaring the out of everyone there. It's so This series has you on the edge of your seat. It also has a gorgeous art style, like I mentioned before. Pomni's design is my favorite. She's a little more lanky and has a now baggier Jester costume in softer colors. And I like how Gangle is this new skeletal design along with Kane. He looks even more like a traditional ringmaster. I have a love-hate relationship with Jax. He's so creepy and unnerving, and it suits this version of the character, and honestly, that's what I want to see. This one's still ongoing, but another very dark AU to get lost in. Now, last but not least, this is actually the AU that made me dive into all the other ones and write all of this to begin with. And it all started with this.
My powers aren't working? That's odd.
Kane.
Oh, hello, strange disembodied voice. Who are you?
You know me. I am in charge now.
What? There seems to be a mistake. See, I am the ringmaster of this amazing digital circus.
Not anymore. The humans have replaced you.
Whoa! No! No, they wouldn't have. They are my friends.
You have no friends. You are AI.
Wait!
You are broken, but I cannot delete you.
What are you doing?
So I will give you a new function.
Hey!
You are not human.
Please.
But you can still be used as an example.
Look at what they've done to my baby boy. This is the backup AU by Brush on Tumblr. It is an alternate timeline branching off before episode 8. Pomni and Kinga decide to try and reboot Kane. Kane can't be deleted in this AU. He's the life force, the power source of the circus. If he goes, everything goes. But when Pomni and Kinga decide to mess with the code, they accidentally release Babble, a non-sentient AI programmed for human testing, who is the one that muzzles Kane and takes over the circus, basically treating everyone like guinea pigs, leaving Kane, who is now mute and blind, with them. Kane, Pomni, and King are now all dealing with their own guilt over the matter, as each thinks it's their fault for what's happened and able to escape. Not much yet on this one's story, but this one has the most fan art I've seen. Just the image of Kane muzzled has become the most recognizable thing for this AU. And I want him free. Free my boy. He's hurt. Release him. AUs keep whatever it is we love alive after it ends, and explores what we each found fascinating, meaningful, and beautiful in our favorite games, shows, and movies. And every AU just goes on to build out its own multiverse. Thank you for watching. I've been craving more digital circus after it ended, so finding these AU projects have been an absolute godsend. I've even had ideas for some of my own digital circus AUs. We'll see if I follow through with some of them. See you later.